third race of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series is home here in Stafford, Connecticut, here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We're getting ready to go for race number 3 on the circuit. It is the Whelen 100. It's been about a month since these drivers have hit the racetrack, but we're back at it again here at this half-mile circuit for 100 laps. Compared to the last 2 races where Daytona was 30 laps and also Phoenix was 47 laps, this race is going to be 100 laps. Yes, that's right, 100 laps. So these drivers are definitely going to have their work cut out for them heading into this event here today. To give you a quick recap of what happened at the Phoenix International Raceway, it was nearly a caution-free race. The reason why I say nearly was because there was a wreck that happened on the 3rd lap of the race that took out about 4 or 5 cars. Luckily, though, some were able to continue while others just unfortunately were not able to. Quentin Moore was one of those drivers that unfortunately did not finish the race. But the race was mainly dominated by 2 drivers. Bradley Ream, who led the most laps in the race, and then this guy, Stephan Alexander, who was the first car to pit and then the first car to leave. He ended up taking the lead from there and never looked back and got his first win and became the second different winner in RCOM Pepsi Series competition and of the 2021 season. So without further ado, folks, here's a look at your point standings heading into the 3rd race of the season right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It is Nathan Stapleton who holds on to the points lead by 1 point over both Carter Joey and Ryan Fowler, who are both 2nd and 3rd. Stephan Alexander, after getting the win back in March, he is 4th in the points. Then you have David Byers in 5th. Addison Jarrell 6th. Tyler Ferris 7th, also tied with Shada Martin in 8th. Blaze Aitken 9th. And Mitchell Collins completes the top 10 for the point standings heading into today's event. So, as you noticed, not a lot of ties in the top 10 in the point standings. So, as I said earlier, last March at Phoenix, as the season goes on, it's going to get a lot harder to gain more points, and we're going to see less and less ties in the point standings. So, should be definitely interesting to watch as this season goes on. Well, folks, I've already said my piece, so I'm going to hand it over to the drivers. The racers are strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up, but in order to get these 34 cars rolling off, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines have fired, pace cars rolling off, and as they head out around the track for their pace laps, here's your starting lineup for the Whelen 100 here in Stafford. Drivers have just received 1 to go here at the Stafford Motor Speedway as they get ready for the 3rd race of the season. On the front row, it is Bronson Minnick in the 22, Jimmy Hogan in the 52. As they come around through turn number 4, they're going to see the green flag, and race number 3 is underway. Hard into turn number 3. Bronson Minnick tries to send it in. So does Jimmy Hogan. But coming off of turn number 4, Hogan gets a really good jump off of the 4th corner. Leads, and he leads lap number 1. Jimmy Hogan trying to get the outside line to work early in the going. Bronson Minnick fighting back on the inside. You got David Byers in the one right there in tow if something were to happen to the front two. But let's take a little bit of a look further back. You got Nathan Stapleton, who's got Noah Clifton all over his back bumper. Might have just pushed him into Ryan Fowler, who holds on to the 4th position, but Noah Clifton trying to knock on the door to get inside of the top 5 as they come off of the 4th corner. These drivers are racing really, really close to each other and also very aggressively. Jeffrey Holcomb and Stephen Wallace Jr. making a little bit of contact with one another, but as they dive into turn number 3, look at Stapleton on the outside. He's trying to power by Noah Clifton, trying to get around him in the number 44, or at least try to clear him, that is, as he's trying to retain the 5th position from Noah Clifton. So far, he's been able to do it, but Clifton right back on the attack on the inside. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hogan has been able to clear Bronson Minnick for the lead, so Minnick holds on to the 2nd spot, but David Byers is right there, going to try to knock on the door for 2nd as Ryan Fowler looks on. Meanwhile, let's take a look a little bit further back in the field. You got Jeffrey Holcomb in the 99, under fire from Shauna Martin in the 18, making some contact as well as they come off of the 4th corner. It looks like Holcomb is going to try to clear Shauna Martin. And then you got Chad Myers in the 25 underneath of Amy Wilderotter in the number 5 machine. Wilderotter currently inside of the top 10. Chad Myers trying to get inside of the top 10, and looks like Wilderotter is going to deny that at the start-finish line. We're about 7 laps in, coming up to 8 laps into the race, and looks like David Byers, well, not David Byers. David Byers right now has a mirror full of Ryan Fowler, who's trying to get inside of the top 3, but Jimmy Hogan has pulled out to the lead, pulled out with a 3/4 of a second advantage over Bronson Minnick, who is trying to fend off Byers and Fowler for the 2nd spot. But so far, the action has kind of calmed down just a little bit of single file action. But until you get back here to 9th place, or the battle for 10th between Wilderotter and Myers. Then you got Owen Miles and Blaze Aitken going at it for position. This is for the 12th spot. Right now, Aitken has it. Owen Miles wants it through turns 1 and 2. And these drivers are definitely going at it pretty aggressively. Aitken cleared Owen Miles for just a small bit. For just a little bit, but looks like he's going to be able to clear him this time. But Owen going to continue to try to hammer away on the back bumper of Blaze Aitken, who does pull away from him for just a little bit. But now you got the 15 machine. Let me actually get the standings out. That's Foster Henderson in the 15 underneath of Easton Myers in the 38. And then you got our winner back in March, Stephan Alexander, who currently is in the 17th position, trying to work on Sean Ard for 16th right now. Sean Ard in the 88. He comes into this race 26th in the points standings. Right now, he's currently being scored 16th, as I mentioned earlier. And so far, he's having himself a pretty average day for the most part, hanging around mid-pack. So not too bad of a job for Sean Ard in the number 88 machine. And it is still Jimmy Hogan who is out front here in Stafford Motor Speedway. It's like we had a car that just went off track. That's Elijah Gordon in the 27. He went spinning through the infield. Yellow flag is out here in Stafford. Looks like the Reds' Wicked Apple machine, the 27 of Gordon. From the looks of it, he might have had a little bit of help. Oh, there's some damage to the 2 of Ronald House on the rear end of the number 2 machine. So this pretty much tells me that these 2 drivers might have had something to do with the caution. Might more so be with Ronald House than with Gordon. But the only other thing I did see, though, was Elijah Gordon in the infield grass with minimal damage, mind you, on the rear end of his number 27 machine. But However, for Ronald House, I'm not 100% sure what happened to him. So we might have to take a look at it. In the meantime, though, it is Jimmy Hogan who is out front. We're closing in on the 1/4 mark of the Whelen 100, so why don't we go ahead and take a look and see what happened both Elijah Gordon and Ronald House that brought out caution flag number 1 of the day here in Stafford. So this is 3 wide getting into turn number 3, right behind Ronald House. Going in the 27, Addison Jarrell in the 98, and Kyler Anderson in the 01. Looks like Gordon sent it in a little bit too hard through turn 1, and then got into the number 90, both into the 98 and the 01. The 69, though, of Tyler Ferris got really loose getting into turn number 3. And that kind of slowed the 2 of Ronald House up, and then right into the nose of Gordon. But what happened to Gordon? Looks like he might have gotten a little bit of assistance from Stephen Cologne in the 77. Might have. That's the key word. And you see that 27 just goes spinning through the infield grass. Luckily, nobody else hit him. So he is able to continue on without any sort of issue whatsoever to his race car. This is what Stephen Cologne saw. This is from his view. Oh, it looked like that. Actually, it wasn't it. That was the blow that ended up sending Gordon around in the infield grass. It was more so Gordon just trying to trying to get off of Jarrell, and he ended up coming down into the path of Stephen Cologne, and that's just what sent the 27 around. But that's what happened for the first caution of the day here in the Whelen 100, right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We're going to take our quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back for the restart. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. We are back here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It is still Jimmy Hogan who is out front. And then you have Bronson Minnick in second, David Byers third, Ryan Fowler fourth, Nathan Stapleton fifth, Noah Clifton sixth, Stephen Wallace Jr. in seventh, Shauna Martin eighth, Jeffrey Holcomb ninth, Amy Wilderado completes the top 10. Pace car is off. We're 25 laps into the race, 75 laps to go right now. They'll be coming to 74 to go once they cross the start-finish line this time. Everybody's still on the racetrack. No cars one lap down. As we're back under green flag racing here in Stafford, Jimmy Hogan gets a really good jump. Everybody has been single file so far. Haven't seen anybody break out a line. Oh, right up until this point, you got Quentin Moore in the 0 trying to get by Stephen Cologne in the 77. Hard into turn 3. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Quentin Moore is pitting. I wonder why Quentin Moore is pitting, but... Oh. He might have had some sort of penalty. I wonder if he actually... I'm not sure. That's actually very tough to determine there. I don't know if he passed on the left side or what, but... Looks like Quentin Moore might have just gotten a penalty. Jimmy Hogan is starting to check out once again. 0.4 of a second on his lead over Bronson Minnick, as we are just about 8 laps from halfway. Oh my goodness, we had another crash. We had another crash. It looks like Mitchell Collins has some right side damage. Caution is out once again. What happened? I saw a lot of smoke on the back straightaway getting into turn 3. There's Billy Kidd. If you go back to, the battle that we had between Mitchell Collins and Billy Kidd. They were going at it hard for the 23rd spot. Oh, this looked like it might have been a little bit bigger than that. I see Tyler Ferris's car has some damage. That's 69. That's a big donut on the right side of his car. I wonder if Nelson Reeves has that same damage. C coming through turn 4. Looks like his car is a little bit unscathed. Same can be said for Allison Rain's machine. But, man. Okay. Seems like nearly every 25 laps, 20 to 25 laps, what feels like we get a caution. This might be a trend, but we're under our second caution of the day here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. And Jimmy Hogan has led nearly every single lap in this race. So why don't we go ahead and take a look and see what happened that caused the second caution of the day here in Stafford Motor Speedway. Jimmy Hogan is your leader. We were documenting this battle for the last couple of laps, right up until we shifted back towards the front of the field. These two drivers have been going at it lap after lap after lap. But Mitchell Collins might have just sent it in a little bit too hard through the corners. He gets on the gas, his car gets tight. These two eventually make some contact. And then watch this. Kidd gets into the right rear of Mitchell Collins, sends him into the outside wall. Nelson Reeves, he gets a little bit of right front damage, but manages to get by with no problem. However, though, looks like, I'm not sure how Kidd got his damage, or not, Tyler Ferris, that is. So let's see what happens here. Oh, looks like Reeves comes back up into Billy Kidd. And then look at this back here. Addison Jarrell, Allison Rain. Addison Jarrell and Allison Rain both get together. And then on the front stretch, Tyler Ferris and Nelson Reeves get together. Well, what caused the right side damage to Tyler Ferris's car? So we're now under caution. The caution is out. These drivers are trying to slow down because there is traffic ahead. It has already slowed down to pace car speeds. That way the pace car could get on by the rest of these drivers. That way they can catch up to the front of the field. But I'm not sure what happened to Tyler Ferris. That's what I'm trying to figure out. See where he got his damage. Oh, right there, actually. That's where he got his damage from. Nelson Reeves getting into the right side of his car, and of Ferris's car, that is, and that's where the donut came from on Tyler Ferris's number 69 machine. This is from Allison Rain's perspective. She sees the crash. She avoids it. Then almost gets turned right, almost right there by Addison Jarrell. So now the caution is out. She slows down just as she's supposed to, but watch Nelson Reeves. He goes high, but the hole is a little bit too small and gets into the right side of Tyler Ferris. Nonetheless, drivers like Addison Jarrell, Allison Rain, as well as Nelson Reeves somehow, they're able to continue on with no damage whatsoever on their cars, whereas Billy Kidd and also Mitchell Collins, Tyler Ferris, and Stephen Cologne as well, they're going to have to compete with damage on their race cars. One final look before we head to the restart. This is at speed with the aerial view. See what happens here. Wow, they both made contact before they even exited the corner. I wonder if Billy Kidd just had enough and just got into the 32 and just spun him around. He right reared him practically getting out of the corner, but man, that was some really aggressive driving here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. And in the meantime, it is Jimmy Hogan who is out front. He has led, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has led every single lap in this race so far, and he is still your leader right now. So let's go back and get to the restart here in Stafford Motor Speedway. One lap and we will be back to green flag racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We're closing in on the halfway mark of the Whelen 100. They're going to restart on lap 47 or on lap 48. It'll be 47 complete when they come back to the line. Your top 10 is still the same, with the exception of, as you can see there, Quentin Moore, the only driver one lap down. And surprisingly enough, every single driver is still out on the racetrack. 33 cars still on the lead lap as we're back under green. And remember, Quentin Moore has no damage on his car, so he's able to keep up with these leaders and try to race to get back on the lead lap and hope and pray that another caution flag comes out. Ooh, Quentin Moore almost got into the back of Jimmy Hogan there. Almost took him out. That probably would have made it into NASCAR Nixon's lap cars thing. No, I'm just kidding. There's no way that this could get into the lap cars series that NASCAR Nixon does. But it could make it into probably a WTF compilation for NR 2003 crashes. But anyways, I keep saying but a lot. But anyways, there I go again. Anyways, focusing back in on what's happening right now, Jimmy Hogan is still holding on. He's still holding on to the lead. A third of a second advantage right now over Bronson Minnick, who is trapped on the outside and banging doors with Quentin Moore. Remember, Moore is a lap down, and Bronson Minnick is trying to get by him so that way he can chase down Jimmy Hogan. But remember, Quentin Moore is trying to do the same thing that Bronson Minnick is. Only difference is that Minnick is trying to get the lead and potentially the win. Quentin Moore is just trying to get up there so that way he can get back on the lead lap. Allison Rain still holding on to 24th. Remember, we documented on her getting into the back of, I think that was Tyler Ferris, and to try to get the 24th spot, and she managed to get it. And right now, she's now managed to gain another spot. She's moved up to 23rd with 5 laps to go, coming to 4 to go this time by. Actually, we are on coming to 4 to go, actually. We're on 5 to go, coming to 4 to go this time by. We're focusing in on the leader at this rate. Britt Minnick has been able to cut into the lead by about 1/100th, but it's definitely not affecting the kind of run that Jimmy Hogan is having today. Remember, Minnick and Hogan started on the front row for this race, and the outside line has been the preferred way to go. Jimmy Hogan managed to get a really good run through the corner, through turns 3 and 4 right here, and was able to wrestle the lead away from Bronson Minnick and did not look back from there. 2 laps to go here at Stafford. Your top 10 has been nearly the same. Looks like Chad Myers has gotten by Amy Wilderotter for 10th. And see what happens. And yeah, definitely Wilderotter is going to have to finish 11th for this one. White flag. 1 more lap to go for the number 52 of Jimmy Hogan. Remember, he started on the front row at Daytona. Started on the pole. He comes into this race 28th in points with 21, and this is definitely going to help him as he wins here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Jimmy Hogan, your Whelen 100 winner for race 3 of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. What a showing. What a dominating performance for the number 52 team of Jimmy Hogan as he wins here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Bronson Minnick comes home in second, the front row finishing 1-2, just in the opposite order. And man, oh man, like I said, this has been really action-packed racing. I can definitely tell you that for sure. And also, for somebody like Nathan Stapleton to add on, who finished 5th, this is going to help increase his points lead by a lot as we head into the next race at Talladega Superspeedway. So Jimmy Hogan gets his first win of the season, and we have now 3 different winners of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series 2021 season. You have Bronson Minnick, who comes home in second. David Byers third. Brian Fowler fourth. Nathan Stapleton is going to complete the top five, as I mentioned earlier. Owen Clifton finishes in sixth. Stephen Wallace Jr. seventh. Shauna Martin eighth. Jeffrey Holcomb ninth. And Chad Myers rounds out the top 10. Your results scrolling from the left-hand side of your screen for positions 11th through 34. Like I said, this has been a really good race here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Just a couple of cautions to kind of slow the race pace down, but it really didn't affect the way that somebody like Jimmy Hogan drove. He drove himself a really dominating race here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. And just, I'm not sure what else you could really add on, but we had ourselves a really good race. Had ourselves some clean racing as well. Some dirty racing here and there, but definitely not too dirty as well. It wasn't a wreck fest race, so thank goodness for that. But next time out, we'll be heading over to the Talladega Super Speedway on April 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the Winston 250. So that should be a really good one. Hopefully you guys can make it out for that one. Once again, that will be April 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And that will pretty much do it for us. Up next will be your point standings for the third race of the season of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. One more time, congratulations to Jimmy Hogan on an outstanding and dominating performance here in the third race of the season here at Stafford Motor Speedway. And that about does it for me. I'll see you on the next one.